I'm just gonna start saying I'm gonna start saying friend of the pod, fans of the show for every person we reference.
Jim Henson, friend of the pod.
Jim Henson, friend of the pod, Jeb Bush. Yeah, any of the folks we bring up on this.
Jeb Bush. When did we bring up Jeb Bush? What?
And any obscure reference we bring up for anyone, we're going to say friend of the show.
Please clap. All right. Question number 1. Never get involved in a land war in Asia. It can be a hairy situation. Napoleon might have wished he remembered that in Russia when epidemic typhus tore through his army, spread by what parasite? So, while Trevor and Will think about this question, welcome to the Evil Trivia Podcast. I'm Graham. I'm joined by the aforementioned Trevor and Will. And if you are listening or watching this on YouTube, you can play along with these questions if you follow us on Patreon at Evil Trivia, or come to the bar in New York City where we host this trivia every Tuesday. Trevor and Will are going to be trying to solve these trivia questions, but also try to figure out what the hidden theme is. There's something that connects all of the answers. It could be a word or just a couple words within each answer. If they can figure it out, it'll help them with some of the questions they don't already have. This is usually the part of the episode where I throw it over to the other two to see if they know the answer, but I sort of got ahead of myself here, but we have a special guest on the episode.
Who is it? Who's
welcome
that guy?
To the pod. It's funny. I think Will has listened to the Evil Trivia Podcast more than Trevor and Leo. I think if we were to rank how many episodes people have listened to, it's me, then Will, then Trevor, and then maybe my dad, then Leo. Will, you are like our super fan. Is this are you getting starstruck being on the Evil Trivia Podcast right now?
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I feel like I know you guys so well already. They say never meet your heroes, but I'm glad we're doing this digitally, so I don't actually have to meet you.
Don't meet your villains either. That's the other lesser known second half of that statement.
We're gonna have some more guests on the pod in future weeks, and I think we're setting ourselves up for failure because Will, I have very high expectations for you.
The bar is set very high.
Yeah, we'll see how those last.
We're collecting 30-year-old white guys like Infinity Stones. I'll read the question again. Never get involved in a land war in Asia. It can be a hairy situation. Napoleon might have wished he remembered that in Russia when epidemic typhus tore through his army, spread by what parasite? Guys, any idea as to what this one could be?
Will, I don't want to pile too much pressure on you right out of the gate. Do you want to voice some thoughts for this question? I've got a couple of thoughts, but I want to see if you want to break in, if you want to flex some trivia muscle for us.
Sure. Well, first off, let's break down the question. I feel like there's like a bit of a pun in there. Things might get hairy.
God, he's such a pro. He's such a pro, all right out of the gate, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and typhus, I think, as we all know, is spread by lice.
Lice, right? Very nice. Yeah, very unnice, not nice.
Very unnice. I hope they brought lice comes with them while invading Russia.
Yes, absolutely. I would agree. That sounds. I would agree. The pun in the question definitely helps. My original thought was something like ticks, bed bugs, perhaps leaning into parasites, but a hairy situation does seem to be a little bit of a nod and a wink. I was hoping this was going to be a Princess Bride question, and I was robbed. It's just about epidemics.
I do wonder though if it's supposed to be specifically hair lice. Right? That gives us another opportunity for the secret theme, another word.
Absolutely. Ooh. Name any other kind of lice.
I only know one other kind of lice. I don't know if I can say this is a family show.
Name one child or one family that listens to this show. All right, let's hear question number 2.
We're
Let's
going to
see
move
what
on
we
to
got.
number
Let's see
2.
what we
We're going to
got.
move on to number 2. See if you guys can figure out a theme. All right, number 2. Originally, the first chapter of William Golding's debut 1954 novel featured Ralph and Piggy and others escaping the threat of nuclear war before their plane crashed. This ended up being scrapped for an opening that began right on the island in what famous novel? It's number 2. What famous novel? I'll read it again. Originally, the first chapter of William Golding's debut 1954 novel featured Ralph and Piggy and others escaping the threat of nuclear war before their plane crashed. This ended up being scrapped for an opening that began right on the island in what famous novel?
Trevor, do you have an idea?
I'll jump in for this one. Only because I didn't know this little piece of trivia about the original opening to the book, which I think is very interesting, and I would have loved to have understood more about the chapter. But with names like Ralph and Piggy in particular, I think this is a pretty good shout out to early sort of I don't know what you would call it, classist, Animal Farm-esque type of kind of social experiment. I believe this is The Lord of the Flies, a classic high school literature book. What are your thoughts?
I thought it was the Muppets, personally.
Muppet Treasure Island. And
one of the best icebreakers that I've seen recently is asking everybody what their favorite Muppet is, or maybe even better, if you were a Muppet, what Muppet would you be? Trevor, I know you're jumping in to answer this one.
Just champing at the bit. So growing up, I was a big fan of the Muppets, in particularly Muppet Treasure Island, like I referenced just a moment ago. Which Muppet would I be? I definitely think at the time I wanted to be Gonzo. I think today I align much stronger with Sam Eagle as the first mate, constantly harping on everyone else about efficiency and safety.
You're definitely Bunsen. For sure. Spazzy
Dr. Honeydew Bunsen. Yeah.
Well,
Bunsen Honeydew.
I think I'm a classic. I think I'm Fozzie Bear. I had a lot of
okay.
I do a lot of Waka Waka type jokes.
All right. Well, while Will tease up his next.
Graham, does that make you Statler and Waldorf?
Oh, that's right. I never answered. I think I think I'm the Count.
All right. Isn't the Count Sesame Street? Are we counting that as a Muppet? We're counting that because it's Jim Henson.
The Muppets are in Sesame Street.
Fair enough.
This always confused me. The Muppet Sesame Street thing always confused me, to be honest.
We'll save it for the after hours, but I've got an interesting little tipple of trivia about the Muppets that I just learned the other day.
Stay listening to the pod late
Stick
to
around
hear
to the
about
end.
Trevor's tipple. Trevor's going to show everybody his tipple later on in the pod.
I'm going to share my tipple with those who struggle through the episode.
You know,
Trevor, this is a family show.
Not when I'm done with
it. We did a Muppet hidden theme, or a Sesame Street hidden theme, and that it confused me back then too. I always forget. So the Muppets are Henson, and then
Sesame Street is also Henson, though, right?
It is. Mm-hmm. And then okay, whatever. We're gonna come back to this.
We're coming back.
Number 3. All right, the number 3. This, I hope you guys get it. This one's tough. All right, number 3. With the last word in the title singular, it refers to the Oscar-nominated 1975 film with Donald Sutherland, called by scholars, quote, one of the nastiest critiques ever produced of the film industry. If you pluralize the last word, it refers to a Bob Dylan song where he describes being surrounded by cicadas. Write either the film title or the song title. I'll read it again. With the last word in the title singular, it refers to an Oscar-nominated 1975 film with Donald Sutherland, called by scholars, quote, one of the nastiest critiques ever produced of the film industry. If you pluralize the last word, it refers to a Bob Dylan song where he describes being surrounded by cicadas. Write either the film title or the song title. That's number 3.
What a curious deal. So folks listening at home, I don't think I've been around for a round of hidden theme trivia where there are 2 possible answers because they make use of the same word in what I presume to be the same context.
Mm-hmm.
We've not gotten to this dialogue about the hidden theme. Will, first time in the show, would you like to speak to what we think the hidden theme might be with answers like lice and Lord of the Flies? You want?
Totally.
Do you want to take this one? Because
Yeah,
I was going to avoid talking about it, but after he's dropping bombs like Donald Sutherland and Bob Dylan songs on us, I think we can crack open the hidden theme dialogue.
Yeah, it's I believe maybe something to do with bugs. You know, if we're talking in this question, talking about cicadas. I'm trying to think, what are other words for cicadas? Right?
They're like grasshoppers, right? Or locusts.
Locusts.
Now,
yeah.
How's your Bob Dylan or Donald Sutherland 1975 film critiques?
The struggle. The struggle with this one is that honestly, they're not. Either of them are not very particularly well-known pieces of media. Okay. But I'm hoping you guys can maybe back your way into it with the theme. So let's move on to number 4.
Yeah,
and
let's come back to it.
Let's see if you guys can. If we come back to it, let's see if you guys can get it. Number 4. The Annunciation and the Visitation are the 2 primary sources for a traditional prayer that closes with an appeal for intercession. What is the name of this prayer in English? I'll read it again. The Annunciation and the Visitation are the 2 primary sources for a traditional prayer that closes with an appeal for intercession. What is the name of this prayer in English?
Trevor?
Boy, I'll riff out there a little bit. There's some language in here that kind of screams more Catholic, Anglican, sort of late Protestant language, but then there's also some vagueness to the question. So I'm sure when we
have another guest on the pod right behind Will.
Oh, you're not supposed to be in here. This is a private set.
This is cut for animal control.
No, this is definitely staying in. Are you kidding me?
This is staying in. The cat needs to sign a waiver before they can make an appearance on the show. We take these things very seriously. The cat's agent needs to reach out to the union and make sure that they're all signed up properly.
All right, yeah. Will, as our resident Jew, any idea?
The only prayer I know maybe is the Lord's Prayer, because it ends with an amen, right? With the appeal. What is the appeal for intercession?
An appeal for intercession is someone coming and standing on your behalf in between you and God the Father. Intercession would be like a praying or like a support on behalf of someone else. So is that a prayer? Is that a cry to Jesus to step in and the Christ figure to come in and step in? Man, a prayer. One thing that we want to be careful of, especially with the little bit of metagaming knowledge that Graham thinks this is going to be a difficult round. We do want to be careful that we don't get snowed by easy sounding early theme words. Although, man, to only have lice to go off of, although it comes back to that question of, could there be multiple parasite bearing hairy? I know. Could it be crabs?
Trevor, I think I might have been inspired by you sort of like having us take a step back.
Well, do you want me to read the next question and see if it goes with the theory? All right.
Lord of the Flies.
All right. Number 5. What 1978 album, Trevor's going to roll his eyes. What 1978 album stripped down the wall of sound aesthetic from its predecessor, Born to Run, and instead favored a more personal tone with stories inspired by John Steinbeck, matched perfectly with the iconic cover of the lead singer standing in front of a closed window with a black jacket on over his white t-shirt? Number 5 again. What 1978 album stripped down the wall of sound aesthetic from its predecessor, Born to Run, and instead favored a more personal tone with stories inspired by John Steinbeck, matched perfectly with the iconic cover of the lead singer standing in front of a closed window with a black jacket on over his white t-shirt? What's the name of that album?
Okay, Will, you've been friends with Graham for how long do you think, in round numbers?
In
a whole positive number of integers.
Yeah, how
one
many
whole
rounds of
integer.
trivia have I been friend with Graham?
Your Bruce Springsteen knowledge has got to be on par. He has to have made you listen to these things. He never shuts up about it. How is your Bruce Springsteen?
It is mid to none. I will say The Boss is not in my catalog.
Living so close to New Jersey, Will, you like, come on. What's I know you're from San Francisco, but you're in the sphere of influence right now. What are you doing?
Yeah. I'll put it on. I feel like it always does well at karaoke, a good The Boss song, so it might pay off to start.
He's a bad enough singer that like you can sing along to it and it doesn't sound very bad. They're not like challenging songs to sing. You just have to yell, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay.
Will, do you think this goes along with your hidden theme idea?
I don't know. I think when you're talking about closed window, nighttime, I'm thinking about the era. I'm thinking about sort of like buzzwords and albums at the time. I'm thinking something maybe darkness, something to do with that. Because
let's go back to this idea that you think you might have. Yeah.
We're at number 5. I think you can spill your beans.
Okay, I think.
What do you think of this hidden theme?
I believe that the first 3, Trevor, I think you were totally spot on that he is trying to mislead us with the first 3 having bug answers. I believe that after the Lord's Prayer, or not the Lord's Prayer, but the prayer one, it might have something to do with plagues. The 10 plagues, which are part of like the Passover story. Of which,
okay, so wait, we started with lice.
It's lice, boils,
boils, frogs, locusts, blood in the river, death of the firstborn, the Passover. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Who can forget the Bruce Springsteen classic, Death of the Firstborn in New Jersey?
He has a lot of songs. There might be one called that. All right. Well, I don't know if that's right or wrong. You have some guesses in for some of them. Let's keep going and let's keep testing your theory. Number 6.
Let's keep going.
Number 6. I gotta pull this up. What great podcasting that was. Okay, number 6. 2. I don't know why I wrote this one like this.
This is worse than the cat intervention.
I'll cut this out. I'll cut this out, and maybe I won't cut it out. We'll see. Okay, number 6. 2 rheumatologists talking to each other might use the word leukocyte, But if they're talking to you because you are an idiot, what is the simpler term they would use? Two rheumatologists talking to each other might use the word leukocyte. But if they're talking to you because you are an idiot, they would use what simpler term? That's number 6.
Okay.
I feel insulted.
The two of us are talking about rheumatologists. I very weirdly will say, Will, unless you know exactly what a leukocyte is right now, let me vamp. A rheumatologist, and I know this from some brief experiences I have, would be a doctor that you would go see to look at, to talk about hemorrhoids. No, I'm just kidding. It's arthritis. Arthritis. So
I've had a lot of meet cutes with rheumatologists lately.
All
right.
Yeah. Let me tell you.
Leukocyte.
Leukocyte.
Will, any idea?
So does that? Yeah.
If we are going, one idea, but if it's based on, predicated on us having the theme down and it being the plagues, the only one I could imagine would be boils.
Right.
Which, like, a leukocyte does seem like something, I don't know what the suffix "cyte" is, but I feel like that's something that, like, is attached in sort of, a negative way. I always think of something like that.
Right. Right. Like an infection spot.
Yeah.
Or a spot of trouble. Okay. All right. So boils or lesions. Bringing it back. What does that give us for?
Rheumatologist, is it specifically for arthritis, or is there like a broader range of medicine?
What a fantastic question.
I'm going to jump in really quickly to say a rheumatologist is one potential profession that would deal with leukocytes, but definitely not the only one. It's an example of a profession that would deal with leukocytes.
Fair enough.
There probably are. There probably is a better one to use that I think would have given it away.
Like a dermatologist, maybe?
Yeah, tell us the thing that would have given it away.
You know what my favorite part about hosting trivia is that we, especially like good, strong trivia that does have a great crowd. Watch, I'm trying to save our relationship to the audience right now. With a really highly competent crowd, is we do have regularly doctors in the audience who will show up for some of our questions that we do have to like make them approachable to a general audience and go, actually, that's not how that procedure would go, or that's not the right classification of that diagnoses.
They're like too smart.
You know what, man? You're absolutely right. Yeah, I did my dissertation on leukocytes, and you guys are the idiots. All right, I like boil, lesion, bed sores, that type of thing.
I like bed sores.
I like
them. Number 7.
Can't get enough of them. Number 7. Can't get enough. Making me hungry already.
7. This is definitely going to be this is definitely not going to be a Trevor question, but maybe it will. Let's see. I don't want to sell you short before we start. 7. Texas Christian University, TCU, sports teams have a famously misleading team name. The animal in their name sounds like it's an amphibian, but it actually refers to a spiny, scaly lizard commonly found in Texas. What are TCU's sports teams called?
Okay, first of all...
Once again...
Oh, yeah. Give us the question. Give us the repeat.
Once again, Texas Christian University, or TCU, sports teams have a famously misleading team name. The animal in their name sounds like it's an amphibian, but it actually refers to a spiny, scaly lizard commonly found in Texas. What are TCU's sports teams called?
So, Will, I'm going to jump out here, not necessarily with the answer, although I do think I have it. First of all, fuck you, Graham, for thinking that I can't answer sports questions. Second of all, specifically sports questions that have to do with animals. I do think I have a pretty good idea of what this might be. Will, do you have any thoughts? Are you familiar with TCU or their scaly lizard?
Vaguely. Yeah, it's
Okay.
I think I know what it is as well, but Trevor, you kind of have
Okay.
it teed up. And I might remind you that this is a family show when you do come when you do say the name.
Not a chance. Well, and that's an interesting thought, because what I'm thinking, and it's just going to fall in these lines. So let's vamp about it back and forth a little bit. I'm thinking, with the reference to amphibians, we know it to be, we're moving close. Maybe not no, but we're moving closer and closer to this idea that it's plagues. I'm thinking something like a nematode. I'm trying to think about what are reptiles that have toad in the name.
You know when Pharaoh got surrounded by nematodes.
Or horny toads or something to that effect. Thoughts, Will, on amphibian misnomered reptiles. Amphibial.
Yeah, nematodes. I like the guess. I believe that those are mussels or clams, right? Those are, I believe, nematodes. I think that you were spot on with horny toad. I think that
with horny toad
makes sense. It's like a desert, dwelling lizard. They're kind of wide too. They're sort of like they kind of have like a toad-ish body, but they're yeah. And
so
I've heard the one thing I will say is that I've always heard of the plague as frogs, but it could be toads. I'm wondering if it's the classic, the animal we all know and love, the horny frog.
Can you come up with a reptile that has frog in the name?
Senor Frog. No.
All right, let's do 8. I'm gonna give you 8, and then
let's listen to 8,
and then we'll come back.
Your 8. We've got a couple that we're really wide on,
and then we'll see if you guys can. This is a hard round.
We still need blood.
Okay, 8. A dish popular at community gatherings in Georgia and the Carolinas is sometimes called a frog-more stew. In Louisiana, crawfish is the most common ingredient. What is the general term for this dish? A term that references the primary means of cooking. A dish popular at community gatherings in Georgia and the Carolinas is sometimes called a frog-more stew. In Louisiana, crawfish is the most common ingredient. What is the general term for this dish? A term that references the primary means of cooking. That's 8.
All right, Will, you sound like you got some thoughts on this one. Give them to me.
Yeah,
I have thoughts that I don't think are leading to an answer.
Subsequently, thoughts on a previous question that I think we probably were way off on.
Ooh, okay.
When I hear crawfish, I hear the South. Immediately, I think like a crawfish boil, which would make sense.
Okay, there we go.
Where they cook everything in a large pot, and then I think they cover a table in newspaper and sort of launch all of the contents of the pot in sort of a haphazard way. And then people go at it like
it's very controlled.
Slapdash, very very precise. An approximation of serving. Okay. All right. So we've got a boil. I like that. I love that. Let's go back to our questions, because I do think we're going to come back. We've got a couple of plagues missing. We've got a couple of questions.
Let me do a little recap here of round 1. So number 1 was about epidemic typhus spread by what parasite. Number 2 was that William Golding novel. Number 3, you could either write the title of that 1975 film or that Bob Dylan song. Number 4, I'm looking for the name of the prayer in English that involves the Annunciation and the Visitation with an appeal for intercession. Number 5, I'm looking for that album. I didn't say it's by Bruce Springsteen, but I'm looking for that album that was a follow-up to Born to Run. Number 6, I'm looking for what leukocytes are in simpler terms. Number 7, I'm looking for the team name of Texas Christian University. And number 8, I'm looking for what that term is that describes that dish that was referenced.
Okay. With them, from the one with the cicadas, Does he use the word? Did you use the word swarm in the question?
I did not. I could have.
Okay. I was wondering if, when I think of locusts, I feel like the phrase most often associated would be something like swarm of locusts. Yeah.
For sure. I think that's probably the right direction. Locusts are sort of known as being kind of greedy, gluttonous insects that will just come in and sort of ravage a space. Cicadas and locusts are going to be very similar to one another. I think we were talking about that in the beginning. So I would be fine not knowing either one of them. I would be fine kind of backing into an answer like swarm of locusts or locusts. Okay, so that's one. This prayer one has almost certainly got to be something about the blood. I've been listening for something that is blood related. And
do you guys know the names of any famous prayers?
Oh man, the Lord's Prayer, the Serenity Prayer,
and I'd also encourage you to go to number 6 because you've potentially have eliminated something that number 6 could be. That's the leukocyte one. If you know your root words, leuko and cyte.
I know.
No,
cytes would be the one.
All right, few hints. My thigh. Oh, you got something. What do you got
for 6? I was thinking about it. When you were rereading the questions, I kind of muttered leukocyte to myself, and I was like, Luke, and then I thought about leukemia, perhaps in a way, and maybe a leukocyte would be something in the blood, right? Something harmful,
like a blood cell, or
a blood cell, or a blood clot, even. Which is not just an exclamation in patois. It is also a very harmful. What do you call it? Like a coagulation of blood cells.
This is a family show.
This is a family show. Keep your coagulation to yourself. The tipples come later. Okay, so we think we might be moving blood to number 6. Oh, okay.
I'd go through. So you have an idea for the theme. Go through possibilities.
We have an idea for the theme.
Missing.
Okay.
We're missing things like leeches. I think we're missing things like drought. We're missing things like firstborn.
Will, think back to your last Seder. Will, come on.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I was several glasses of wine deep, as is custom.
As is the custom.
As is prescribed by the book.
The good book. The very abridged
is it the
Haggadah.
Passover?
The children's Haggadah that we read out of every year. Those beautiful photos.
You skip 30 pages. Let's just go to this one.
So is this prayer Passover related? Is it the blood of the lamb? No, we're thinking blood is over somewhere else. But is it Passover related because the intercession is that the lamb stands in for the death of the firstborn, and that's why the
Trevor, I'm gonna lean on you for this one a little bit here. Do you know what the Annunciation and Visitation are? As somebody who I think knows about Christianity.
I do. The Annunciation and the Visitation are coming from a denomination that I'm less familiar with. But they're going to be...
What could the visitation be? Who was visited?
It's almost certainly a visit from an angel, or perhaps even a visit from Christ, but I'm assuming it's a visitation from an angel.
To whom?
Those kinds of scenes.
Yeah, there's a very famous
attention
visitation from an angel. I believe, perhaps even the most famous.
Well, for the Jewish faith.
No, I was thinking.
Which one?
True.
Which one are you referencing?
I was believing. I thought it was is it the angel? Is it Gabriel? Is that the one who comes and tells Mary that is to have
I know.
the
It's either
Lord's first
Gabriel
son?
or Michael.
Hmm.
I know,
I
but
thought
how does
Michael
that
was
fit
the
into her?
violent one, the one who like wrestles with the devil.
I know, but but for the Passover, we're talking about the angel of death. We are talking about the violent one.
Hmm. There's
Remember,
I was thinking about the other
hidden.
plagues.
Few
So I
are
was
guys.
thinking about. I feel like hail is the one that we have not touched on.
Mm.
I was wondering if there's something hail oriented.
Where can we work?
I
Hail.
don't know.
Hail Mary. Is it something like that?
Oh,
Hail Mary. I know.
Yeah, no.
That's fantastic. Ooh. That is fantastic. Okay. What are we
Nice.
missing? Leeches.
It's not just a
That was-
touchdown pass.
That was painful
Passover.
to listen to. Oh my god.
Listen,
Pure
folks, get in the
pain.
comments. We don't need guest
Pure-
participants.
pure
We need
pain.
guest
Okay.
hosts. We need guests.
Who
to come in.
remembers hail?
Personable
Who
guests. Who remembers Hail? Who remembers Hail?
No one remembers that.
Hail Mary. Okay. So,
So
we're
the
still
ones that you-
down
the ones
our
that you
Bruce
don't
Springsteen
really have-
album.
Yeah, you don't really have a guess for number 5, which is the album. You
Bruce
haven't really locked
Springsteen.
down a guess for 6, which is Leukocyte. You haven't really locked down a guess for 7, which is TCU. And you sort of have like somewhat of a guess for number 3, that Bob Dylan / movie.
I will say one for 5. I do know one other Bruce Springsteen song, and I don't know if
Give
it's
it to us.
the titular song on the album, but "Dancing in the
Mhm.
Dark," I believe, is Bruce Springsteen.
I love it. I love it. And Darkness is kind of leading. You brought Darkness up earlier
Mhm.
today. Darkness is kind of leaning towards one of these plagues, plunged into darkness. Dancing in the dark is what you're suggesting.
Mhm. I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure that dark and darkness are interchangeable, right? And the
For sure. At least with Graham's shitty writing.
You just you wait.
I'd be willing to say Dancing in the Darkness or Dancing with Darkness. I think Graham thinks of Bruce Springsteen as being kind of a bad boy.
Mm.
All right, this amphibian is definitely throwing me because a horny toad is a horny toad a reptile?
Yes, it definitely is.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. Then I'm willing. It's a scaly lizard.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, Trevor, you should
Then I'm willing to
tell
throw that.
Will. You should tell Will that I'm a stickler about sticking to a theme. I don't
I know.
gesture around it with
I know
synonyms.
the toad frog thing is definitely it's definitely a question that we're
Okay.
getting back to.
I will say, if it's in
Infuriant.
Egypt, right? If the plagues are in
Mhm.
Egypt, they probably wouldn't
Mhm.
have frogs, right? The frogs might be like an American
Why do you say that?
interpretation of toads. Well, because it's like frogs don't have to exist like in a riverbed. They kind of exist like in temperate forests,
Okay.
or
Fair enough.
rainforests. Whereas like toads are a little bit more robust.
You
And
don't
they
think you
can-
would find frogs? You don't think you would find frogs in like the Fertile Crescent?
I don't believe so. No, I think that they're probably
No.
mostly toads.
Okay.
All right,
I'd
we
say-
we need to move on.
Yeah.
So I
I'd
need
say
to
let's
need
lock
answers.
let's lock our answers in.
Lock
So
already
for
toads.
one we've got lice. For 2 we've got Lord of the Flies.
Hmm.
For 3 we're gonna say swarm of locusts. Right, because if you singularize it. Yep. If for 4 we're gonna say Hail Mary.
Hmm.
For 5 we're gonna say Dancing in the Dark.
Dancing in the dark. Yeah.
Dancing in the dark. 6 we're gonna say, what are we thinking? Blood vessels?
Blood clot?
You said blood clots? Blood
Blood
clots?
clot.
7 we're
I'm not
saying
gonna
horny
raise you guys
toad
with my
with a
accent.
wince. Perfect, thank you.
Yeah.
And 8 we're saying a boil.
Hmm.
Okay. And the hidden theme being plagues. Lock it in.
All right. You are correct on the hidden theme. Let's go through answer by answer. Okay.
Okay.
Or I'll tell you your total. I need to count up a little bit because I'm going to give you some half points here.
Fair enough.
Mm.
I'm gonna say you guys got 5 or 6 points. Let's review.
We'll take 5 or 6 points. Let's hear it.
Plus 2 for the hidden theme, so
plus 2 for the
7 or 8. Number 1, you guys nailed it with the Harry situation reference. That is lice, of course. Number 2, that William Golding novel is indeed Lord of the Flies. Number 3, the name of the movie and name of the song is Day of the Locust or Day of the Locusts. So you're gonna get a half point for that. Number 4, the Annunciation and the Visitation, both about Mary. Intercession is like I want a saint to intercede on behalf of God in my life. So a Hail Mary is like, please Mary, do this thing for me. Hail Mary. Number 5, so close. Dancing in the Dark, I believe, is from Born in the USA. The name of the album is Darkness on the Edge of Town. Darkness on the Edge of Town. Yeah,
Okay.
tough one.
Okay.
At trivia, we'll probably show instead of referencing it, we'll just show the album
Sure.
cover. Number 6,
That wouldn't have helped.
leukocyte. Site is the suffix or just the root for cell, CYTE cell. I'm looking for white blood cell here.
White blood cell. Nice.
With leukemia, you're close. Leukemia is like an over sort of reaction of all the white blood cells in your bloodstream. It's like a sort of, I think it's like would fall under the umbrella of like an autoimmune reaction, although I could be wrong there, but leukocyte, white blood cell. Number 7, you guys talked yourself out of frogs. The plague is frogs, and the name of the TCU team is the Horned Frogs. I would have accepted Horny Frog, but I think Horny Toad is not going to get you there. The Horned Frogs.
I don't think we would have landed on horny frogs or horned frog with horny toad right there. That
and then number 8, you guys nailed it with Boyle, Plagues of Egypt. Will, first pod, well done, Trevor.
Fantastic
12th
performance.
pod, terrible performance.
It's perfectly fine. I'm here. I'm here for the comments.
Can you guys name the 2 other plagues of Egypt? So the ones that we have here are boil, frog, blood, darkness, hail, locusts, flies, lice. What are the 2 that I'm missing?
Killing the
firstborn,
the big one,
and
the one that
that's sort of the entree.
Softens the Pharaoh's heart or something.
We're missing famine.
It's a plague
famine
on the cows.
Yeah, there's a word. There's a word that typically is used.
Veganism.
Pestilence.
They
pestilence.
could
Pestilence.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Pestilence.
Yeah, Death of the Firstborn and Pestilence were the 2 that were missed. But you guys got the theme.
I can't believe you couldn't work that in. We got the theme.
Yeah, I couldn't work it.
I can't believe you couldn't find an organic way to
and I tried to
pestilence.
I tried to stick to the words that like are very commonly used across all of the references in English.
Yeah, no, that was great. Loved
obviously
the
there's
misdirect.
like translations going on.
The insect
starting with all the
misdirect
bugs.
was fantastic.
Yeah, that's a little mean,
that was a great
but
start.
Yeah.
No, that was a great start.
Locust is a tough one. I was thinking about, because we have Will who lives part of the year in Philadelphia. I was thinking about doing like a Locust Street reference, but I was like, I don't know if he knows Philly, like Center City, well enough to like. Would you have gotten if I was like, what's parallel to Walnut Street in Center City?
Probably not.
Been like
Sanso?
Yeah. No. So I think. But if you were like, it's a bug and it's a plague, could you maybe have gotten locust from that?
Yeah, likely. I would say potentially.
There's not a lot of references to locusts that aren't the bugs.
I think it's named after the tree. I think there's like a locust tree or something, because it's in a series of tree-named streets. There's pine, walnut, chestnut, and I believe it's in reference to
tree.
It's a half street. It's barely a street. No one acknowledges it. It's an alley.
All right.
It's an alley.
For number 4, I am going to swap in. I'm going to get rid of the prayer reference, I think, so I can swap in the book that I just finished and Trevor is reading right now. But I was like, But I
No
was
spoilers.
like, I can't ask a question where the answer is a book that I know Trevor is currently reading.
That I'm in the middle of right now that Graham has recommended to me.
And not make it like way too obvious. The book, of course, is Project Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary.
Best book ever. It's so good. The movie's coming out
recommendation.
soon. Maybe by the time this episode releases, the movie will be out. Great book.
Months and
I
months
think I'll
from now.
probably swap in Project Hail Mary for the religion reference, but I was
That'd
I
be
can't
great.
ask about that
That'd be great.
Trevor right now. Trevor,
See,
you nailed
folks at home, this is exactly the contempt that we're talking about.
Trevor, you nailed it off the bat with lice, the lice question with never get involved in a land war in Asia. I was going to ask you what movie that was from, but I'll go one further.
Yeah.
Do you guys know the name of the character who asks that? Or who says that?
Oh,
Or the name of the actor?
Will, if you've got it, launch it out there. But let's keep going. I don't want you to tell me. It's gonna come to me because I can hear the other guys saying his name, Andre the Giant, and
Fezzik is the name of Andre the Giant's character.
Fezzik.
Oh,
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. You really want to come back to it?
Is this Princess Bride? Is that?
Princess Bride. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's close. Trevor. I'm gonna save you. It's,
give it to me. Save
It's
me.
Vizzini, and the character is played by Wallace Shawn.
I definitely
is that
wouldn't
the
have gotten Wallace
Sicilian?
Shawn.
Is he?
Yeah, that's
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Never enter into
has
a
the
deal with a
iocane-
Sicilian when death is
yeah.
on the line. Yeah,
iocane powder scene.
Fantastic
One
monologue.
of the great scenes in
Iconic scenes.
in movie history. Such a great scene. And his character, like, pretty sure his character dies in that, like, dies with the iocane powder in that scene. So he's not really in the movie for very long.
Spoiler alert for those who haven't seen Princess Bride, but yeah, no, he dies in that scene.
But like, I feel like he's one of the most memorable parts of the movie. Inconceivable, and like he's not really in the movie for that long. Sorry,
Yeah,
Will,
I feel like
sorry.
I feel like the Venn diagram of people who play trivia regularly and listen to this podcast and have seen The Princess Bride is a circle.
It's just a circle.
Yeah, nobody's
It's just a
listening. Like,
circle.
fuck, I was supposed to listen to.
I had all this time. I'm reading the book. Yeah.
All right. So a few notes about typhus. Epidemic typhus is a type of typhus that is spread by lice. There's also scrub typhus, which is the only typhus we have a vaccination for, and that's spread by mites. And murine typhus, M-U-R-I-N-E, that's spread by fleas. So epidemic typhus, I think the most common one
Fleas.
is
Fleas was
is
gonna
the
be
lice
another one.
Also, there's body lice and head lice. You know, so like those are two different. I didn't want to jump
You
in
didn't bring
there,
up crabs. I thought Will was going to bring up crabs.
it's a family show.
It's the family show.
I didn't realize that typhus and typhoid fever are different things. I thought they were I thought typhoid fever was like related to it,
yeah.
but they're actually two completely different things. But in German, they call typhus typhoid fever just to make it extra confusing, and they call typhus lice fever. So ridiculous.
That would have made the question a lot easier.
Speaking of things that are like have different names and are sometimes used interchangeably, Bob Dylan, the song "Day of the Locusts" is about cicadas. Two different animals. Those are not the same thing. And so he calls it "Day of the Locusts," but the song is about cicadas. Very confusing. Stupid Bob Dylan doesn't even deserve that
Stupid
Nobel
Bob Dylan.
Prize.
I mean, in the world of mixed up misnomer animals, they're pretty close. Zoologists or zoologists with a specialty in swarming grasshopper types, crickets and the like. Get in the comments, tell us about. But you know, locusts and cicadas are not exactly tremendously different.
Let's keep on the thread of misnomer animals because we asked about we went into the horned frog question, the TCU horned frogs.
Yeah.
They shoot blood from their eye sockets as a defense mechanism.
That
is
fantastic.
Goodness.
terrifying. That is absolutely terrifying. I hate that so much. I never want to be in person with a horned lizard or
that is some
horned
like
frog.
anime
It
shit.
is a lizard.
Yeah,
exactly.
Inspiration for the
Reptile.
Bond villain, right? The Magic.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's pretty horny. So, but anyway, going back to confusing names, horned frog in Texas refers to a lizard. There are frogs in South America called horned frogs.
That are frogs.
That are frogs. So super confusing animal misnomers showing up all over trivia. I have a free drink question to close us out. But before I do that, any additional notes or things to add from you guys?
My tipple on the Muppets. My tipple on the Muppets is that Jim Henson, master of his craft, created these very eccentric, very complex puppets. And the puppetry that goes in, there are actually multiple types of sort of puppetry technique that go into it. Obviously, the folks are down below and they're operating the mouth, and inside of each Muppet is an intricate sort of collection of different apparatus that allow them to move eyebrows and shift eyes and things like that. But they also use sort of strings and marionette style control as well from other operators. One Muppet might have 4 or 5 different operators for any one scene that they do, both below the scene and above the scene. And so the name Muppet is a combination of marionette and puppet.
Wow, that's
Isn't that
a good
cool?
little fun
I got that from a
fact.
Corridor Crew video about puppetry and puppetry techniques, and they were talking about like, where does the term Muppet come from? They just thought it was sort of a funny made up word, but no, Jim Henson named them Muppets because they were this complex combination of marionette technique and puppetry.
Fascinating.
I know, isn't it?
Corridor Crew, friend of the pod. I'm just gonna start saying. I'm gonna start saying friend of the pod, fans of the show for every person we reference.
Jim Henson, friend of the pod.
Jim Henson, friend of the pod. Jeb Bush, yeah, any of the folks we bring up on this.
Jeb Bush. When did we bring up Jeb Bush? What?
And any obscure reference we bring up for anyone, we're going to say friend of the show.
Please clap. Sure. Okay, your free drink question to close us out.
Yes.
How many average-sized adult male horned frogs, the Texas one, could you line up end to end on a football field?
Okay, so the way we've done this in the past is
play.
One of us will say a number and then the other one says over under. We're going to do it that way.
We should let Will pick whether he wants to say the number or say over under.
Yes, exactly. Will, would you like to stake a number and then I go above or below, or would you like me to stake a number and then you go above and below?
I'll go for the over under. I feel like that's
the wise choice.
That's the wise cowardly decision to make.
Yeah, Trevor, you can do the math. I'll just
average fully grown male horned frogs. And we don't just mean like the athletes of TCU, correct? We mean the actual reptiles. Okay.
Good clarification.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to assume that per yard, and it's a American football field. I'm going to assume that per yard we're going to get, what do I think? I think they're probably 5 to 6 inches, just like everyone else, just like all horned frogs, male horned frogs are 5 to 6 inches. What is that going to make them?
Show.
There's going to be 50. Yeah, family show. Is that there's going to be 30, 16. I'm going to say 600.
Okay. Will?
I'm going to say 600.
Above or below 600?
I will say I'll go above. I feel like it's going to be somewhere closer to like maybe double that, like 1,200.
Yeah, it's pretty close to double that. It's 1,016. 1,016 horned frogs end to end.
Holy,
They're 9. I think I had it down as 9 centimeters.
It sounds like a party.
Was the average. So yeah, like Trevor, you're overestimating the size of your horned frog.
Sounds like a sausage fest.
Sounds like Trevor thinks his horned frog is a bit longer than it actually is. All right, gents,
And on
we're up
that
on time.
note, ladies and
on
gentlemen.
that note, thank you, Will, for being here. Trevor, you're here every time, so nothing special.
Can't get rid of
Thank
me.
you to
Yep.
our listeners for sticking through Will and Trevor fumbling
Excellent
around
work,
in the
Will.
dark, dancing in the dark on the darkness on the edge of town on that one. If you live in New York City, please come out to St. Impna's or Radagast Hall on Tuesday nights, where you can hear one of us shouting these trivia questions at you in a much sort of scratchier tone of voice.
Come
Nails
do
on
better than
chalkboard.
us. Come
Do
beat us
better,
up
yeah.
at our own trivia.
Yeah, because these are the questions we host at actual trivia. If you don't live in New York, we have a Patreon account where you can pay, I think it's like $5 a month to get access to all the PDFs of trivia. There are other rounds that we do that aren't just a hidden theme round. We have puzzles, we have visual rounds, music rounds, and our classic final challenge. If you want to play at home, you can download those PDFs and play at home. Guys, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Graham.
Closing.
Thanks for having me.
Let's close this out. Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.